a prestigious night that they come out, the best of the best, pretty much, to show what they have presented, to show what they have brought to the table at their finest they could ever bring.
Or as I like to call it, Hollywood kissing each other's asses for a good 3 or 4 hours.
That too.
Come on, you gotta admit it. You know.
It's true, but
with that being said, hello everyone, and welcome to a very special episode of Super Reaction Bros. I am Kristen.
I'm Christopher.
And on today's very special Oscars edition of the show, we will be predicting our picks for the 2018 Academy Awards, also known as the 90th Oscars.
The 90th Academy Awards.
Now, with that being said, we are going to go with our first category. Now, we will not be going over every category. We will be going over the biggest core categories we go on. The ones we really appreciate checking out and really watching and guessing who's going to win. So
the first nomination is for Best Visual Effects.
Yes. And the nominees are
Star Wars: The Last Jedi,
Kong, Skull Island,
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2,
War for the Planet of the Apes,
and Blade Runner 2049.
Now, with that all being said, we're going to cut over to the better-looking versions of us. So,
take it away.
Take it away. Thank you, ugly-looking versions of ourselves. Thank you very much. Yeah, really little hideous. Yeah, so our first course they bring up is visual effects. So, with that being said, we can probably discuss this a bit. We have a lot of good ones for visual effects. I mean, all these did spectacularly well. Mm-hmm. It's really difficult to choose. Like Blade Runner, visually outstanding. Guardians Volume 2, very well done. I can always from an MCU movie. Kong Skull Island, I mean, there's a giant monkey.
And a bunch of other creatures.
Star Wars: Last Jedi.
Yeah.
And, of course, Planet Apes, War for the Planet Apes, which I can't say enough about.
Mm-hmm.
This one's a bit difficult.
Yeah, it is.
I have it between two, which is Guardians and Blade Runner. Guardians was very visually well done, especially the fact who the villain was. It had to definitely be up there in visuals. Blade Runner was just overall an amazing visual landscape.
Yes.
So, yeah, this one's a difficult one.
The one I have it between is not only Blade Runner 2049, but also War for the Planet of the Apes. Because War for the Planet of the Apes, the way the details they added into the apes themselves and stuff like that, giving them more realism to it. It was really phenomenal. The way they did it, and you know the performance behind it with Andy Serkis and stuff like that was phenomenally well done. And when Blade Runner 2049, it was great landscape-wise. It was great. You had a lot of great good effects and stuff like that. But those are the two I think I have it down to myself. But of course, this isn't just what our two picks are. No, we have to decide on one pretty much.
Well, you're saying one because I thought we were going to go like you one, me one.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Okay, yeah. So for my pick, I'm going to go with Blade Runner 2049.
Going Blade Runner?
Nobody kill me, but I still haven't seen Star Wars: Last Jedi. I do, just from watching the trailers, I know it's visually impressive. Yeah. I know War for the Planet of the Apes, you can definitely tell it did a great job, especially with the mocap effects, Andy Serkis, which is a whole discussion in itself. Yeah. But I'm going to go with Blade Runner 2049. I think overall it definitely set the tone of the movie. Yeah. What they've gone through story-wise. You don't have to watch the prequels to see it visually all that's been happening with it. So I'm going to go with Blade Runner 2049 as my visual effects pick.
I'm going to go with like I said, I've seen Star Wars, seen Kong. I've seen all of them pretty much. Well, except for a couple of them, but by Star Wars, don't get me wrong, phenomenal effects and everything. Just the typical effects you get in a Star Wars film. Kong, Skull Island, another great job they did with the visuals and things like that. There's times when you could tell it was they fell apart a little bit. But I really, like I said, I was stuck between Blade Runner and Planet of the Apes only because there's the realism they brought to that film, and it really brought the likeliness to it, pretty much. So for me, though, I have to go with War for the Planet of the Apes, only because the realism they brought to it, pretty much, the the grittiness, it fit perfectly with, the visual effects fit perfectly with the grittiness of the film, and it really made it stand out more than ever. And you weren't expecting it to be like, wow, did they actually use apes or anything like that? But to me, that was my standout pick there.
So for your pick, you're going with War for the Planet of the Apes?
Yeah, War for the Planet of the Apes.
And for my pick, I'm going Blade Runner 2049.
Yes.
So without further ado, we'll take it back to our hideous looking doppelgangers for the next nomination, Best Animated.
Thank you, good looking version of me. Thank you. Our next category that we dive into is for Best Animation. Animation has come years along into a prominent, more dominant type of film creating. And we've seen so much evolve from this nomination. The nominations that we have this year, some are phenomenal. Well, a couple are just, what the fuck did they make? Or what the fuck were they thinking of? So our nominees are Loving Vincent, Ferdinand, The Boss Baby, The Breadwinner, and Coco. Now let's take it back over to the good-looking version of myself, right on over there, so they can give you pretty much what their prediction is. So here we go.
One. Oh, God, he's so ugly. I can't tell which brother it is.
Goddamn.
Yeah. So animated feature film.
Yes.
Now, whew. So Coco. That's it. Coco.
I want to go over them pretty much because it was because of all of them, of course, there's one that pretty much, that really, was definitely stood out than the others, and not in a good way either. And of course, we all know we're talking about Boss Baby pretty much. We've seen the worst of the worst and Boss Baby, but it's still there. It was still. I'm trying to get this off the table now because it's like. It was good, but wasn't like up there good. I know there was other animated films than Boss Baby. I'm not saying Cars 3 or anything like that, but I'm saying like I know there's other animated films that probably did much better than Boss Baby that he could have chosen from. Loving Vincent, pretty much, I heard it was really good. I heard it was good. The animation style was different, and it was unique in its own sense. Going around, what happened to Vincent Van Gogh. Ferdinand, I heard, what I liked about it is that, they stuck to the story. They gave it more of try to give it more heart to the film.
Right.
And they try to give as much as they could for it. Try to stick to the same story, but adding more to it for the character and even the human characters they interact with. I just watched The Breadwinner. I watched that actually earlier today, and it was really good. The animation style was very top notch. I loved how they set it up, and it had a reason pretty much, and it was trying to send out a message and trying to display, and they did a phenomenal job trying to display it, and they did a great job. The story it's definitely something I would recommend people to watch, but be careful because it's just the area that it surrounds itself in pretty much, and the story that it encases itself in pretty much overall.
Right.
But of course, I would have to go with pretty much myself because he already said his pick is, and that's for Coco. And no, it's not because it's Pixar, that's why he chose it. No, because Coco pretty much just like when Pixar first started, it has heart. It has a reason pretty much. It has a good solid story. And it's to say by the end of it, I was crying my balls off. Okay, it had me crying. I know for him, he was probably crying too. But it really hits you hard, pretty much. And not like I said, animation wise, they did a phenomenal job because I saw how they did it because of the skeletons and the way animation works, and they had to do a lot of different new techniques they never done.
Yeah, it was all in the detail. I think that's what worked for so much.
Yeah.
Was not only was it visually impressive, but the detail that went into the skeletons, like some people didn't notice, but there's a lot of design on their faces similar to candy skulls from
and then what was also pretty cool is when especially when of course throughout this whole thing is there's gonna be a lot of spoilers. So if you're watching this, Okay. You know, especially when you see his hand and he's slowly turning, it's just so cool how you see his hand and it's still moving, but you see it through. You're seeing through his hand to his bones, pretty much. And at the same time, so animated, so all that, and then the massive scene of just the whole city itself. I saw actually a video and they broke it down, pretty much showing how every part you see in that like city, pretty much when they show that wide shot of the city, of where they're at, pretty much. And even they said every little bit in there that's its own little actual 3D set, pretty much. That's one whole giant 3D. It's not like they you know, pan over and it's like a drawing. No, it's an actual full on bit by bit. But the characters that they have in this is like they have heart. You know, it's like they're one of their sayings, not sayings, but one of the things that Pixar always follows is that the more their character suffers, the more they're doing well with it.
Yeah.
And the character suffers a lot through this, and you see so much heart. I mean, it just makes a complete left turn when, you know, certain things happen in this film. Story was phenomenal, and I think hands down this is Pixar's return back at the Oscars, big time. This is definitely a win that they deserve, pretty much, and hopefully they start bringing it back again each year.
Yeah, I was gonna. God damn it! I only have one little fact.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Once
you know
again,
me,
Pixar man bulldozed
Well,
me.
that's what I said when it comes to animation.
I was gonna also bring up when you got into details, and I was gonna say something, but then you continued. Was like the details in the guitar playing, because they actually filmed guitar players playing, and they took note of their fingers and animated the people, the characters playing in this movie to the exact specifications. So it looked more authentic.
It looked more. It wasn't just somebody just doing this and stuff like that. And, it's like, they're doing that. It's like, no, they actually made sure every detail, even down to that wire. It was amazing.
So the first unanimous pick for us will be Coco for best animated feature.
For Coco, Coco will be our first unanimous decision of who should win for best animated feature. So that's definitely a way to go there. So
yeah. So with that being said, let's take it back to the weird guy in the hat it over there. Thank you, ridiculously good-looking version of myself, for that prediction. So our next category up is for best cinematography. Now, cinematography is pretty much how the movie is made, how the scenes are played out, how everything is beautifully done, pretty much. Not visually, just overall, pretty much, for like how it was filmed, the scenes that were filmed. And all 5 of these nominated pictures definitely deserve this one, unlike the best animated one. So the nominees for best cinematography are Mudbound, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Blade Runner 2049, The Shape of Water. Now, with all that being said, let's cut it back to the better-looking version of my brother. Thank you, fat bastard. So, next up is the cinematography category. Now, like our my ne'er-do-well cop doppelganger said, or tried to say, cinematography is essentially how the film was
put together.
Film was put together, pieced together, all that. So, this one's a difficult one.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's easy, I would say, 3 here.
Yeah.
I have it between Blade Runner 2049, Dunkirk, and The Shape of Water.
I actually have it. I have it between 3 of them, pretty much myself.
Yeah,
I have it between, for me at least, and that's between The Shape of Water, Blade Runner, and Dunkirk.
I just said the same thing.
You said the same thing? Sorry.
I just said the same thing.
I'm sorry. I'm not.
Those are the 3 I have between. Like,
okay.
I'll be honest, never saw Mudbound. I did see Darkest Hour, but that we'll get to that when we get to Best Actor. But that's more of a character-driven performance, more than anything.
Darkest Hour pretty much the way they try to piece it together, they did a good job. But again, like you said, it's just more of just the character surrounding the whole film, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's about it. But the way they pieced it together was all right. It was decent, not like perfect or anything like, but it was decent. It was passable, and it was good enough, pretty much. Now The Shape of Water, they did a beautiful job. I mean, the way they set the piece each together it's it's just very it's amazing how they grabbed the artwork. They made it this awkward romance, pretty much. I would say in a way together in this film, and the way they pieced it together just reminds you of like an old classic horror film. Like you see on the posters where it's like always the horror monster always going after the beautiful one, and it's like here the way they pieced it together was like it was done very good.
No, there's a good way to put this where. Yes, there was a monster, but the real monsters were the humans.
Yeah, we're the humans. Like, that's how they displayed it.
Like, I don't want to fully get into this because we still have Best Picture. But,
I know, just a little.
But we'll say this for now. It definitely tackles that, and the way it shows their relationship. This really out of the box relationship forming between Sally Hawkins' character and Doug Jones's character.
Yeah, exactly.
Fish Boy.
Yeah.
So
now, what do you think? What did you think of Blade Runner 2049?
It was very well done.
Yeah,
like just the opening shot of him flying over to essentially the dilapidated LA.
Mm-hmm.
Just then when he goes to San Diego, the ocean. When he goes to Vegas.
Yeah.
We said spoiler again, but when he goes to Vegas to find Deckard.
Yeah.
I mean, very well shot. When he first slowly starts to realize that there's more to him than it's gonna sound so fucking punny. There's more to him than meets the eye.
Yeah, exactly. More than meets the eye of it overall.
And I really want to win, but
that's where Dunkirk comes in.
And
we watched that one together, and after watching it, just the way it was set up for musically. The shots that were set up,
all the airplanes, all the fighter jet scenes,
everything pretty much. The way they orchestrated was just a masterpiece. The way they put it all together was done beautifully. Where it's like you barely needed, just like we'll probably bring it up in Best Picture pretty much, but you barely needed enough lines to know what was going on, what they were going through.
Yeah.
And the music most of all helped it. And it was done beautifully, the way shot for shot.
This one's difficult because I have it between Blade Runner and if I came down to it, I have it between Blade Runner and Dunkirk. I think both of them really in their own ways. Blade Runner had more of a cyberpunk noir style, while Dunkirk had a very well done war movie aesthetic.
Yeah.
Very well done war movie aesthetic that really hit home about what really happened to these guys.
Mm-hmm.
This is really.
Well, if you had to choose one, though, what would you choose?
What would you choose? I can't.
My choice, as you can tell pretty much in my expression, would be Dunkirk. Like I said, the way they set it up, again, was just masterful. The way each shot was put together. It's like, at first, it was you were a bit confused, but the moment you understood it, the second, it's like you understand every little bit. You're piecing everything together. It was just beautifully done well, and that's my choice, is Dunkirk.
Frick. This is difficult. It really is difficult because both of them were really well shot, really well done. I know Dunkirk is Nolan, and Nolan is always great at doing what he does.
Yes.
In my opinion, people may disagree. Damn, this is difficult. This is really difficult. Now people got this. If Blade Runner 2049 didn't do good in box office, and I saw it at home, and I enjoyed it. I really did, and
Dunkirk did phenomenal as well in the box office as well. It did really well.
This is what part I hate about Oscar not just choosing what should win.
Yeah, you have to decide on one though. But for me, I had to go with Dunkirk myself personally. God damn it! I know how the Oscars fucking work. And it should be easy for you to pick then.
Well,
if you know how they work,
I'm split between choosing what I think is gonna win and choosing what I think should win.
But you have to go with your gut feeling. That's the
what I think should win is The Shape of Water. What I think. The problem is, what I think is going to win is between Blade Runner and Dunkirk because they're both very well done with cinematography. Well,
again, just go with your gut feeling. Just go with what your gut's telling you.
Safe bet's Dunkirk. Safe bet's Dunkirk.
So is that your final choice?
Fine, Dunkirk.
So Dunkirk. So it's a unanimous decision on this one.
Barely, it's unanimous.
This is barely, but it's a unanimous decision on this one where we both think that Dunkirk will probably win for best cinematography.
I'm gonna be honest. If Blade Runner wins, it deserves it. It definitely does.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough choice this year. I think there's a lot of tough choices. So it's definitely it's interesting how this is gonna go for this one, but also I think it's gonna go easier for Dunkirk when it comes to more of the musical score and the music, the sound editing, everything pretty much. I think that's where Dunkirk's gonna really probably evolve and kick in really good. So
with that, sadly taking forever, we will cut to one of the two ugly looking people in the corner over there and see what's up next. So take it away, boys.
Our next category. First of all, thank you for great predictions, fantastic. But our next category dives in more into originality, which Hollywood is sometimes very much lacking in. Sometimes, we get so many remakes, remades, or even just straight up, we're just gonna copy somebody else or do something. And this take is the original screenplay. The originality of capturing the emotion, whether it's happiness, sadness, or just, again, like I like always saying, what the fuck moments, pretty much. Because sometimes in original movies, you get those every now and then. But the nominees for Best Original Screenplay go to The Shape of Water, Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, Get Out, The Big Sick, and Lady Bird. So, after that much said, let's take a look and see what their predictions are. So, take it away, you guys. All right, that sounds exactly what they said.
Ugly motherfucker.
Yeah, just ugly. Our next category, pretty much, as our doppelganger selves have said, this is for original screenplay. So this one is very interesting because there's a few of them. Actually, yeah, a few of them that are really good. That really just, actually, not even a few of them. All of them freaking stood out. They're all great films. I honestly have seen every one of these films pretty much.
I didn't see The Big Sick. I know what the movie's about. It's based off Kumail Nanjiani's actual relationship with his now wife, I believe.
And she's the one who actually wrote this too.
Exactly. This one starred Ray Romano in it as well.
Yeah, as well. So, but it's very interesting how all these are going pretty much, and it's just amazing how a lot of these are just playing out. Because Lady Bird pretty much had, of course nowadays people are following Rotten Tomatoes, but had one of the best reviewed films pretty much ever for Lady Bird. And then you still have like Get Out, which just came out of nowhere. Was started off as just a typical horror film pretty much to like more of a horror comedy film pretty much, and it did phenomenally well. This the way they did it, they hit every emotion pretty much. For it's like when it needed to be funny, they brought the funny. When it needed to be scary or creepy, they brought that.
I have it between. For me, I actually have it between the last two, which is The Shape of Water and Three Billboards. Shape of Water, very well done. Flips on its head for like a more modern day storytelling.
More of like a modern day type of fairy tale. That's what it is. That's what it
modern
is.
Day romance done in a very unique way.
Yeah.
And there was that. There was Three Billboards, which I thought was really it was funny, but it still had the right amount of tone when it came to being serious. And like the parts where it needed to be funny were funny. The parts where it needed to be serious, it got
really good. Yeah,
it got very serious. And stuff. It was still funny overall, but like it really showed the pain Frances McDormand's character was going through, and the stuff she was saying was all her fault for.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, it's just the others are as well, where you have Lady Bird, where it's not it's a typical coming of age type of story for a young girl, pretty much, just trying to grow up and trying to find who she wants to be or anything like that. Of course, things happen with love and college and all of that. So, but the way they did it though was just really well. It felt as if you were there. It felt like, oh my god, I've been with that with my parents, where it's like they're not listening to, you're yelling with them, or even just when it comes to dating, what it's like, and all that type of stuff. And the way they set the story up, it was just, again, you really felt like you were like reliving that stage of your life. Yeah. And they did a phenomenal job. And the main actress, pretty much,
Saoirse Ronan.
Yeah, she actually did a phenomenal job in that role. She sold it.
Lady Bird was very good. Was good. See, this is the problem with talking about movies that are also nominated for Best Picture, is that you don't want to talk too much because you still got a lot to talk about for Best Picture.
Well, I know, that's why I'm trying to spread it out for each one.
I will say about Lady Bird is it's a very good, down-to-earth, coming-of-age movie that isn't afraid to pull punches on its character.
Yeah.
And a vast amount of people watching this movie can relate to some point in their lives doing something from this movie, where it's having an argument with their parents, a disagreement with where they want to go in their future, getting out of town, and trying to find out where they belong, where they fit in. And this one did it perfectly with its own amount of sass.
Yeah, and then you also have The Big Sick, pretty much, like we said before. That one was, just based around how they met in a way. Of course, characters' names are changed a little bit, but except for his, of course. But it's like you're circling around this guy who just wants to become a comedian. He wants to be that funny guy and things like that. He falls for this girl, and it's just the way the chemistry they put together, when it's like, even when she gets really sick and she goes into her coma and things like that, the relationship he starts to evolve with her parents. It's like they realize who he is, who he wants to become, and things like that. How he's a truly honest guy. Because at first they're like, why are you here? You broke up, But the way they did it was like it evolved over time, where it's like they eventually grew on him.
Yeah.
And then you still have his family, where their family's just trying to cope, pretty much, trying to get him to see somebody and stuff like that. And it's just the way everything flowed together was just right, where you had the comedy, you had the emotion, pretty much, where it got really, you got really choked up or anything like that. But my choices I have between for myself is actually between 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, and Lady Bird, to be honest. Those are the two that I haven't stuck with.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 3 Billboards.
3 Billboards?
This one's going off of just research about how many awards this movie has won alone this award season. And original screenplay is getting known for its good story overall. I'm going to go with 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Now I'm in your position now. It's very difficult to decide.
While you think about that, I'm going to see if my pen works. There we go.
Yeah, I would have to go with with Lady Bird, pretty much. That's my choice. Only because, again, it's just the story. Pretty much, it evolved each bit, pretty much, of the way. You get to go through each course and stuff like that. And like I said, the actress sold each scene, pretty much, every time she was in it. But the story evolved over time.
Oh, you can say the thing about 3 Billboards. Anytime Frances McDormand was in a scene, she stole it.
Oh, she stole it. I know that much.
Or Sam Rockwell, or both of them.
Yeah, but for me, like I said, it's Lady Bird, only because it's just, to me, it's just the way it was set up was just beautifully done, beautifully set up. I mean, again, it's another category, like we said in our last category, very difficult choices, because it's like all of them have their ups and their downs in their own ways, but even then, even with their ups and downs, they all are wonderful, beautiful stories. And I mean, like I said, these are our picks. Again, you guys, if you have your own picks, that's awesome. We're not telling you that don't see the movie. We're just saying they are really that good of a movie that it's hard to choose from.
So I choose 3 Billboards. My brother chooses Lady Bird. So I guess we'll have to wait and see if he finds out who wins that one. So now back to our good-looking duo in the corner. For our next category, we'll be discussing. So take it away, boys. Thank you, gorgeous duo. So, next up is the Best Adapted Screenplay. Now, let's be honest. Sometimes we can't be all original. So what we do is we find something amazing, astounding, great in a different media, and convert it into something we can watch for a more visual appetite. So these 5 nominees did just that with here they are for the Best Adapted Screenplay. Mudbound, The Disaster Artist, Molly's Game, Call Me By Your Name, Logan. Now, with those nominees out of the way, let's take a look at what those bros over there think their predictions are. Didn't one of them bitch about episode 7, the new season of Stranger Things?
I'm not even gonna talk about that.
So next up is adapted screenplay. Now, I've seen 3 of the 5.
Yeah.
I've heard and seen enough of The Disaster Artist. I've seen bits and pieces to know it's good. So my 2 choices I have between is The Disaster Artist and Logan. The only reason I really want to go with Logan is because it's Logan. It's a Marvel movie nominated for an Oscar. You know, a non-visual or film editing Oscar, an actual Oscar. You know, that tall guy who looks like this Oscar. But there's a Disaster Artist, which, god damn it, for a movie based on a book written by a very unique individual.
Yes.
And his friend.
Mm-hmm.
It's very well said. There's a lot of good moments. Make it like we'll probably get this. Is I think nominated for an award. We'll probably get into this when we talk a little bit about Tanya. But like what that made work and what this made work as well is that it was a bit satirical and it was funny.
And it had a serious moment.
But it was the parts that were serious were actually true. Actually, what happened, just like over satirical about what actually happened.
Yeah, exactly. And they did such a great job and. Even James Franco just sold it, you know.
As Tommy Wiseau,
and just the way they had everything set up, bit by bit, it was just they did a great job. They did a phenomenal job trying to display what actually happened.
But it's Logan.
Then you have Logan,
based off of Wolverine's Old Man Logan.
Yes.
And goddamn, easily the darkest of the, in my opinion, darkest of the X-Men movies.
It's still, I think it is. In a way, it's its own. It's the darkest you're gonna go with the X-Men.
Raleigh.
And it's just really done well.
Call Me By Your Name. Let me go over. I never saw Mudbound. Call Me By Your Name. I saw. It felt like just a normal Summer of Forbidden Love kind of movie, and that was it. I mean, I know like. The acting was well done.
It had great performances.
It had good performances. It had good visual. It had good visual shots. It had great music, but I wasn't fully invested in the story. I
think that's why this film overall it's not gonna hit all audiences everywhere. You know, it's not gonna hit everybody where it's like they enjoy it. It's like you're gonna have those people. Such as my wife, pretty much, who's not really a fan of it, only because throughout the whole film, she's sitting there going, but he's a pedophile, and I'm trying to explain to her, going, look beyond that, look past that. Pretty much, that's,
somebody watching made a good point, it's like, it didn't really bother him, because, like, the guy wasn't being rough with him, the guy wasn't doing, this wasn't like he was this was something on both sides that was accepted. Yeah, you can't. It pretty much clearly is pedophilia because the guy was like 20. Armie Hammer's character was like 24.
24 and 17.
Timothée Chalamet was like 17 and his character was 17. You can still say that, but that's not the part that really like bugged me. It just felt like a very standard summer of love story. Yeah. It just like it didn't really capture me. Molly's Game, it was good. The problem I had on Molly's Game is it felt like a very story. I mean,
the way it felt like it could have been longer. Or they could have added.
It could have been longer. No, it could. It felt like there was going to be more, but they just didn't put it in there. And you can feel it because like by the end of the movie, I'm like, okay, I guess that's it. I mean. Nothing felt over dramatic. Nothing came to like the court case was. Nothing ever came to like borderline. What's that Tom Cruise? I'm blanking on the dude's name from The Shining.
Jack Nicholson from I know.
A Few Good Men.
Yeah.
Yeah, it never got to those levels. It was very standard. And
you were expecting it to go that far at some point.
I was expecting more. Like, there was two, like, I would say about two really hard-hitting moments. Mm-hmm. And that was it. Yeah. Nothing, it's not that I didn't feel bad for her. And, like, I knew she was probably going to be, like, mostly innocent in all of it. Yeah. But just, it didn't really, like, the performances were good. I mean, you have Idris Elba, Kevin Costner. Yeah. Just Jessica Chastain, you know, but it didn't really impact me or it didn't really hit me. Like it was still a good movie, but it felt like there could have been more. Yeah, that's why Molly's game, Call Me by Your Name, aren't like on that. And Mudbound, I just never got to run.
Yeah, I think out of all of them, I think that's the only one I didn't get to see was Mudbound, and that one, like I said, we're not saying anything bad about it. We haven't, like I said, we watched as many movies as we can in the amount of time we had. Mudbound, we didn't get to it. I mean, you could leave down in a comment pretty much if you thought it would have, if it gets to a point where it doesn't win an award or anything like that, or if it does, maybe we missed out. Maybe explain to us, why you thought, it deserved the award or anything like that. Let us know in the comments below. But for me, I have it between. Oh boy, how can I say this? I have it between. Let's see here.
Disaster Artist and Logan.
No, actually. I'm between Disaster Artist and Call Me by Your Name.
Really?
Yes.
What made you change your mind compared to what I think of Call Me by Your Name? Sorry. One thing I want to note: there is still a couple of scenes I did like from the movie. It's still a good movie. I'm not gonna diss on that, but it felt like a very like standard. Like Summer of Love kind of movie to me.
Yeah.
Go on.
For me, I like Call Me by Your. I really liked. When you first started with Disaster Artist, I love how it was set up and everything. The way, they like we were just saying before, the way the story was set up, it was beautifully done. They did a great job. And then Call Me by Your Name. It's a typical forbidden love type of story. But it's the little things you have in there that really just give it the spark. The little things that usually happen in a typical forbidden love, but they do it very nonchalant. They do it very at ease, pretty much, and they did it in a very good artful type of style where it's like it's slowly built up. There's points where you saw it, but it's like no, not there just yet. But it eventually did build up. It built up.
This is Call Me by Your Name.
Yeah, it's for Call Me by Your Name, and the way they built it up. This forbidden love, and then bam, they hit you with it. It's just like, wow, okay, you weren't expecting to hit it that hard,
The problem is, like, I'll be honest, I went into that movie blind. Like, I didn't look up a trailer, I didn't look the plot synopsis, I saw the poster, I didn't even know Armie Hammer was in until the opening credits. And, by 10 minutes in, I'm like, oh, they're gonna get together. And I'm just sitting here waiting for it. I felt like I was just sitting there, just tapping my fingers, I wasn't literally tapping my fingers, but I was just tapping her waiting for it, because that's when I knew it was going to probably be a bit more, intriguing about where they're going to go with this relationship, considering that neither of the parents can find out, though, spoiler, one of the parents does find out, and it's one of the best scenes of the movie.
Yeah, the best solid scene, pretty much.
Yeah, when they sit down and talk about what happened. Yeah.
But what's your choice? Now we get to the point where our choice is pretty much who we think should win for adapted screenplay.
This is difficult because I really want Logan to win. But Disaster Artist was really good. It was really good from what I heard. I mean,
my choice I have, because like I said, you heard me saying I had between the Disaster Artist and Call Me by Your Name. The choice I have to go with is Call Me by Your Name. That's what I have to go with myself.
Okay, I'm gonna go with. Damn, this is difficult. I'm gonna go with the Disaster Artist.
Okay.
I really want Logan to win.
You still have hope. You still have your hopes there for Logan, but it's like, the
Disaster Artist adapted the story so well.
Yeah.
Adapted the story so well to a point where. You look at the actual guy, and it feels like it's a shot-for-shot, retelling. And it's really... I'm gonna go with the disaster artist on this. I think the writing was very well done, very well adapted from the book, and even apparently was so even loved 99% of the movie.
Yeah, of course, except for the lighting.
Yeah. So those are our picks. I
Yes.
go disaster artist. He's going with Call Me by Your Name.
Yes.
So with that being said, we are going to turn it over to the people who disagree with stuff that other people disagree with as well in the corner over there. So take it away.
Very interesting pick. So can't wait to see how it goes. So our next nomination is supporting actress. And when you get whenever you always need that supporting role to help guide even the lead actor, to give him that strength, to give him that oomph. Pretty much, he needs to help make the film even phenomenally well. You've had so many great supporting actresses who've come and gone, and we got more coming our way in this list, pretty much. So our nominees for Best Supporting Actress are Leslie Manville, Phantom Thread; Allison Janney, I, Tonya; Laurie Metcalf, Lady Bird; Mary J. Blige, Mudbound; and Octavia Spencer, The Shape of Water. So let's take it over to a good-looking version of us, and let's see what they think. Take it away, guys.
Thank you, gentlemen. We'll take it from here. Up next is, of course, like they said, supporting actress, and we have quite a few amazing roles. And I'm gonna tell you why it's between Allison Janney and Laurie Metcalf.
Yeah.
Allison Janney is fucking the best thing about I, Tonya.
Oh my gosh, she's the best thing of it.
She nails the role so beautifully. They picked the absolute best person to play Tonya Harding's mom.
Yes, and if you haven't seen the show, Mom, then you would know that they picked the perfect person for this role.
But like I said, it's between two for me.
Yeah.
So the other one is Laurie Metcalf.
Yes, Lady Bird.
Lady Bird. She plays Lady Bird's mom.
Mm-hmm.
She does great. She is the best version of a mom you can get for this kind of role.
Yeah.
Like she's a bit snippety on stuff. She's a bit like what's the term for being cheap? Cheapskate.
Yeah.
She's a bit of a cheapskate at times.
Mm-hmm.
But she's all doing is to make sure, like, of course, her daughter has a better life out there for her.
Mm-hmm.
And she does it so well. And the best scene for her is not even a scene where anybody but her in it. It's when she's going to drop Lady Bird off at the end of the movie at the airport, and she's driving away because the father decided to stay to see her off.
Mm-hmm.
She's driving away, and she just slowly starts realizing she's losing her daughter.
Her daughter, pretty much.
Her only daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's slowly starting to lose her only daughter, and she comes racing back, only to realize she was gone.
She was already gone.
And it's a very powerful scene, and I really enjoyed it.
The people I have between myself is between... I have to see here. Goddamn.
You're gonna go for my two picks?
Yeah, I think it's your two picks, pretty much. Now, again, we haven't seen Mudbound. We haven't really seen full potential of how Mary J. Blige has done.
If you're wondering, Leslie Manville is the assistant to Woodcock.
I know that.
I'll get her admit, she's awesome because she doesn't take Woodcock's fucking shit in that movie.
Yeah, she doesn't. I mean, but between her, that's what I said. Her and Octavia Spencer, they did not have a lot of screen time, but if I had to choose between those two, it would be Leslie Manville because, again, she had a lot of good, powerful moments, while Octavia Spencer barely had anything.
It felt like she barely had anything in the movie. It just felt like that.
It really fit in. It didn't really fit. It felt like she was there. That's it.
My favorite scene of hers is when she's talking. It's another spoiler. When she's talking to Sally Hawkins' character about having sex with the fish guy.
Oh yeah, exactly.
That's my favorite part of hers, and that's really it. And Leslie Manville, I can call multiple parts where she hasn't taken more parts. Shit.
Even though she didn't have too much screen time, she still has some powerful moments for Leslie Manville. But like I said, if I had to choose between, that's why I said I have it between Allison Janney and Laurie Metcalf. They both have powerful performances. They both had great They had a lot of great moments in their film.
So I'm gonna go with Allison Janney. I found her to be very entertaining. It felt like a perfect fit to play the role of Tanya's mom. And she, like I said, she nailed every part she was in the movie. Every scene she
sold it. She sold it, and I'm up there with you. Where that's my also my pick as well.
We really got like split off eventually.
Yeah,
I think when we're doing our own personal for this video predictions, I think we're definitely gonna vary.
But like I said, it's a unanimous decision because Allison Janney, like we said before, each time they showed her on screen, she had something powerful to say. She had like a powerful moment, pretty much. Even though she plays like a mom who's a dick, but she does it perfectly well.
She plays a bitch. And this is a mom who throws a knife at her daughter and it lands.
And it lands in her arm, and they still sold the role pretty much of how powerful that scene was. Because even she had that moment where she was just like in shock herself, just as Margot Robbie's character did. It's like she was just in shock. But
so we said in previous ones, if somebody else wins, they deserve it.
They deserve it. Again, these are complicated, very difficult choices. These are our honest opinion of who we think should win. And again, that's what we thought. I mean, again, Leslie Manville. She didn't have a lot of moments, but when she did have a moment, she did sell it.
Yeah.
Laurie Metcalf, just along with Allison Janney, it's like those are. It's funny too how we're picking these two when they both play mothers in the films. But Laurie Metcalf pretty much.
We're choosing essentially the mother who is being a dick for good reasons, or the mother who is being a dick because she wanted her daughter to be number one.
Yeah, in a way, yeah. So. But like I said, Laurie Metcalf, she had her good performances. She had those good moments. Not too many of them, but she still had some good solid moments. Again, we haven't seen much battle, so Mary J. Blige, we would not know, to be honest. But if you think she did, you could probably put down what you thought, why she should win it or anything like that. Octavia Spencer, like I said, I think out of all of them, she's the weakest one. She is the weakest one because, again, barely anything in the film. Like, she didn't really have a single powerful moment, to be honest. She did not have a single, whereas like you really felt like, okay, she did really good.
Well, the part when she wanted to beat the shit out of her husband for spilling
Well, that's about it. But that's about it, though. But it's like she didn't have that moment that you really felt like, okay, she sold that role.
Yeah.
But again, that's like I said, that's our overall unanimous pick, which is for Allison Janney.
So now we're going to get some tougher roles. So we're going to cut it back over to the not so dynamic duo. Interesting picks, good-looking gentlemen. Now we are moving on to the category for Best Supporting Actor. Now these men are not the main person of the story, but they provide enough strengths to said story to give it to make it a hell of a movie. So the nominees for Best Supporting Actor are Sam Rockwell, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Woody Harrelson, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Christopher Plummer, All the Money in the World. Willem Dafoe, The Florida Project. And Richard Jenkins, The Shape of Water. Now, back to you, good-looking gentlemen. Thank you, gentlemen. You ugly-looking gentlemen. So, next up is the Best Actor for Real, like they said. I honestly have it between 2. Though it is funny that Christopher Plummer was nominated for this category, considering he had to do a week of reshoots. And
oh yeah, and that was actually one of their top choices, wasn't it? Yeah. Pretty much for this role originally.
Yeah, originally it was for this role. So, let me see. For me, it's between Christopher Plummer and Sam Rockwell. Yeah. Now, for the most part, I believe Christopher Plummer did an admirable job. Christopher Plummer, one of the best actors in the world. I'm telling you that.
It's Admiral Plummer.
Yeah, admirable job. But for me personally, I never saw Florida Project. I saw Woody Harrelson. He was good in 3 Billboards. Yeah, Richard Jenkins was good in Shape of Water. Very solid supporting role. But really, it was between a few for me, and it came down to in the end Sam Rockwell and Christopher Plummer. Now, Christopher Plummer, I'm giving the accolade to because he came in out of nowhere to do reshoots for.
Oh yeah.
And for the most part, he did a phenomenal job. From what I heard, he was Ridley Scott's original choice to play the Getty's role, the Getty role of Getty.
That was one of his top choices to go to for it.
Yeah. Now let's see.
For me, I have it between Sam Rockwell and William Dafoe. William Dafoe, because like I said, I've seen bits and pieces of the Flora Project, and he did a phenomenal job. He did a great job at trying to display this character, pretty much, who's caring for these girls and also caring for the place that they're staying at.
Mm-hmm.
And he does a great job. And just one of his top performances we've seen in a long, long time. And I like I said, it's amazing how he's done it. Now, like I said, the others have done a really good, decent job. Richard Jenkins did a phenomenal job just displaying this character. You know, this character who's just you're curious about why he's here, things like that, and you start to put pieces together. You know how his character is. You know, being a gay pretty much, and pretty much he was a previous alcoholic pretty much. So, but living in that world with that, it's difficult during that time period. And then Woody Harrelson did a great job as well for the short time he was on the film. Yeah. You know, just trying to show that the suffering he's going through, not only through his cancer, but also just, you know, he's starting to realize, you know, I should do more for this lady.
Yeah.
You know, but the one I think my pick I have to go with on this one is Sam Rockwell, only because the way he made the character evolve, was just phenomenal. Because you go from how did you and Dad, I forgot the term that you and Dad used pretty much for his role, his character.
For who?
Sam Rockwell.
He was good at Sam Rockwell did a great job making you feel for a racist asshole.
Yeah, that's what it was. And he was just, again, he was phenomenal. His character, you know, halfway it's like you thinking he's a
stereotypical hillbilly
dick, pretty much
deputy,
and you know, it's like, and then when it gets to the point where, spoilers, Woody Harrelson's character, you know, dies, he kills himself, you know, he leaves the letter for him, you know, giving him that boot, you know, that push to say, hey, you know, you have potential to be a great, you know, deputy, pretty much, even more, you know, even more than a deputy.
Right.
And, you know, and even after reading that, his character just makes a whole shift. His character is just like, you know what, it's like, I need to start straightening out my life. You know, yeah, it's like either times he still had the bumbling idiots, you know, at times, but he sold it pretty much, and he grabbed it and he made the character his own, and it was just really, really phenomenal. And to me, he really, I think, sold this role. I mean, now I see why he won the Golden Globe, pretty much, for supporting actor. And usually for the was it awards show season, they usually that's like showing you potential. What awards, you know, what more higher chances that this film or actor or anything like that may win an award here pretty much at the Oscars.
Yeah, it's usually a surprise when it's not the one that's been winning the other awards.
Exactly.
So for us, that's usually a safe bet. So for me in the end, I'm going Sam Rockwell. For you?
Unanimous as well, Sam Rockwell.
So with that being said, let's cut it back over to the bumbling fools in the corner. What?
Interesting pick, you guys. Our next nominee is a type of role that you need to dominate, pretty much. That helps you bring the film to life, pretty much. And that's the role for Best Actor, pretty much in a leading role. They're the ones, pretty much, that bring that heartfelt emotion into the story, whether it's happy, sad, or emotional, whatever type of emotion you may get. And our nominees this year are just some great nominees. So our nominees now for Best Actor in a starring film is Daniel Day-Lewis, Phantom Thread; Timothy Chalamet, Call Me By Your Name; Daniel Kaluuya, Get Out; Denzel Washington, Roman J. Israel, Esquire; Gary Oldman, Darkest Hour. Now we have who they are. Let's see what we, our good-looking, better-looking selves think of it. Let's take it to them.
Thank you, numbnuts. So, on to, as they have stated, pretty much, now we're on to the bigger pictures, the bigger roles, which is
Best
Actor. Yeah, this one's for Best Actor. We have some really good, really powerful, good contenders.
It's okay.
It's
down to 2. It has to be down to 2.
Yeah, down to 2 for me too.
It's going to be either Daniel Day-Lewis for Phantom Thread or Gary Oldman for Darkest Hour. I saw Daniel Kaluuya Get Out. He did good.
He did a solid, good performance.
I don't think he was.
Oscar worthy enough.
I don't think it was like Oscar caliber, but I think he did a fine job. Timothy Chalamet.
He did a good.
He played the kid, right?
Yeah, he played the kid, and he did it. To me, like I said, he did a good job. He did a decent, good job. Portraying this role. To believe it or not, they actually were originally going to offer this role to Shia LaBeouf.
Thank fucking God.
But of course, with all the controversy with what he was going through, the controversy he started up, they went with somebody else.
Okay,
and then Denzel Washington.
I heard he was one of the best parts about the movie, but the movie overall wasn't good.
The movie wasn't good overall.
It was just Denzel Washington delivering another solid role.
That's it. So it wasn't. It's kind of hard to pick him only because it's like you want that movie to also do very well just besides him. And he did a good job, but the rest of the movie was not like a solid good film, to be honest.
Now, Daniel Day-Lewis has a good track record of winning Academy Awards. He won for Lincoln. And Gary Oldman, Daniel Day-Lewis is a very good character actor, and this definitely shows here because he goes from There Will Be Blood playing like a Southern oil guy to playing a French fashion designer, essentially. And
was he French?
His actual
French.
No, Daniel. His name was something Woodcock.
Reynolds Woodcock. You don't have to look up on your phone. I was just curious. That's all.
I actually don't know Daniel Day-Lewis's ethnicity. I'm just going
Well,
off.
I'm not talking about Daniel Day-Lewis himself, because I thought you were talking about the character himself. That's why.
No, I'm talking about Daniel Day-Lewis, the character.
The actor.
See, shut up.
The actor. The actor.
No, Daniel Day-Lewis, the actor, because he's a very well-known character actor, and he's won for multiple roles. He's been outstanding in There Will Be Blood. He was great in Lincoln. And now he's switching over to a completely different role as a French costume. Yeah. Well, as a fashion designer. I'm just going to say fashion designer.
Yeah, fashion designer, because you said French. Yeah.
Fashion. I'm going to say fashion designer.
But he did a great job. He pretty much, because of course I've lost how many times he said it, but everyone's saying he's confirming it. This is his final role, pretty much. He
keeps saying that, but people are doubting it.
Everyone's still doubting it, but even if it is, he does a phenomenal job. He really dives into the character. The way the character is, the way the character is set up to where he's very strict on a certain routine, and he's like he doesn't want it's like the way he does it, he sells it, as if he's this guy that just like everybody adores him.
Back to the actor himself, though, like you gotta wonder how much he put into the role. Did he really, like in LPC, did he really let his hair grow out a little so he can shave it himself for the role?
Yeah.
Did he let his nose hairs grow out a little for the role? I mean, hell. You can see the calluses on his fingers from not only showing him he has portrayed
how is that? What's that term?
Dedicated to his craft.
No, it's not that. There's a certain term where not. It's another term where they're very dedicated. They dive themselves so much into the role. Method acting. He's a really good method actor, pretty much. Where he really dives himself into this character.
Like I was trying to say before, was that like even the calluses on his fingers. While you can usually say that's him practicing, showing like he was learning. The calluses, I think he legit kept the calluses on his fingers to show like this guy is a fashion designer. Of course, he's gonna have like
bumps and bruises
on his fingers and stuff. Even learning how to draw, like it got to a point where he tried to learn how to draw like a fashion designer would.
Yeah, exactly.
And stuff like that. And he really did good.
Yeah.
Then we get to Gary Oldman, who, God damn it,
the movie, for Gary Oldman. He's another one of those where he's a really good method actor.
Yeah.
And the film was good. The film was passable, to be honest. But what he really does is he carries his whole film on his back. He literally, from beginning to end, he just carries it, and you're just like, wow. He sells this character. He sells the role for this character.
So yeah, that's really pretty much why
Like,
the
I see why.
makeup alone was nice, but then it gets
go ahead. I'm sorry.
It gets to a point where you can't really tell anymore.
You can't tell. Yeah.
Gary Oldman, and you're just looking at Winston Churchill, and he really is the best part about the movie. Unlike Denzel Washington, who was in. He was a good actor, and he did good in a role.
But the movie was
good.
Was not.
Gary Oldman was in a more character-driven role.
Yeah.
That was surrounded by a fairly good essentially war movie. If you want to look at it that way, or like a politics movie.
Exactly, and then you have Timothy Chalamet, pretty much, who plays his musical prodigy, pretty much, and of course he starts to fall. It's like a typical teen, stuff like that. He does the role good, pretty much. He sells pretty much at certain moments where you really feel like the emotions behind what he feels for this. Guy.
Easily the best scene is like with him is like for me is the one he has with Michael Stolberg, aka his
near the end,
his father,
his father, the scene with his father near the end.
And the end credits scene.
Yeah,
where it's the end credits going along, and we're just on the shot of like Elio just sitting at the fireplace in tears.
Yeah, he's just crying. He's letting it out, and it's just the way he's just letting it out. It's just very interesting. And don't get me wrong, he did a great job. But
I'm gonna have to go with Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman as well here, unanimous decision. I mean, he did pretty much win. I mean, of course, he did win at the Golden Globes, but just after watching the film, you see why he won. Because he sold that character. He gave that character life. Like you said, pretty much. After like maybe the first 5 minutes, you just have to realize, who is that? Because at first you're like, oh, that's Gary Oldman and stuff like that. But then it's like, after 5 minutes, you don't even think about the makeup. You just think about the performance that this person's delivering. Yeah, he brings it just to life. Make you feel like you're actually watching him play. You're actually watching Churchill himself overall.
Yeah, overall, I think Daniel Day-Lewis has a strong chance of winning it, but I'm still gonna go with Gary Oldman.
I'm going with Gary Oldman too, because I mean, I feel like I felt more compared to Daniel Day-Lewis's character.
We really do rock paper scissors and choose different ones because we keep on going unanimous the last few.
Well, you gotta realize. This is our honest opinion, pretty much, of what we're doing.
Well, I know, I understand that. I'm not disagreeing with that, but it's just like it doesn't help that we keep on agreeing. It's like I said, it's gonna come when it comes down to who's gonna win, like overall for most predictions correct. It's gonna come down to the ones we're not like the smaller ones we don't really care about and not really going over.
Yeah, exactly.
Care about the least. So. But yeah, we're going with Gary Oldman for Best Actor. Now we're going to cut back to the ugly-looking motherfuckers in the corner to see what's up next. So take it away, dumbasses.
What?
Interesting picks, gentlemen. Now, let's cut to Best Actress. These female leads dominated their motion picture roles with flair, gusto, and pretty big lady balls. So... now, let's dig us into the Best Actress category. And the nominees are Sally Hawkins, The Shape of Water, Meryl Streep, The Post, Frances McDormand, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, Margot Robbie, I, Tonya, and Saoirse Ronan, Lady Bird. Now, with those fine 5 women, we are going to see what our gentleman duo pick. So, let's cut back to it. Will they just shut up already? I mean, they're just annoying over there.
God damn it.
So, this is the most difficult one for us because we've seen all 5 of these movies.
Yes.
All 5 of these actresses. No, wait. I just looked over. All 4 out of 5 of these actresses deserve these roles.
Yes.
Which is the 5th one I am not talking about?
Meryl Streep.
Got it right. Look, nothing. Okay, I'm gonna start my rant. You can go. Nothing against Meryl Streep. There is a few other actresses worth noting. People can put their comments down below. That probably should spot more than her. Look, I'll be honest. We get it. Meryl Streep has been nominated for a gazillion. Has only won a few. I'm just tired. She was good in The Post, but I'm getting to dad lengths of irritation Meryl Streep. I'm starting to slowly see why he hates Meryl Streep. She's good in this role, but she's not deserving this best actor role.
Don't be wrong, she's a phenomenal actress. She's a really great, phenomenal actress. But to be honest, for me, honestly, as of right now, I don't think she should. And I'm not saying it because of what he said. I'm saying it because of like I said, for the film that for the post. It really felt like they just wanted a lot of big actors in this film. And, of course, they grabbed Tom Hanks. They grabbed a bunch of other big actors in there and threw them onto this film. Because they thought, oh, that one movie, what was it, Spotlight.
Yeah, a lot of people said if you enjoyed Spotlight, like it's good, but, like...
It's not on the same level as Spotlight.
Yeah, if you want to see something that's done better than this movie, you gotta go see something like Spotlight. Because, honestly, the movie, for the most part, is very, like...
Yeah, it's great.
It's like Molly's Game a bit, where it's like... Stuff happens. A little bit more stuff happens in this than Molly's Game. Yeah. But stuff happens, but you're like by the end of it, you're like, okay.
Yeah, and like I said, she had a good role, but it wasn't like Oscar. To me, it wasn't really Oscar-worthy type of performance. You know, she played like the first woman to run pretty much a newspaper. Yeah. You know, and of course the decision she had to make. Even at the end where they tried to throw in the women's rights thing when she was coming down and see all the women surrounding her and things like that. They try to throw that in there, but to me, it didn't really sell it. We're trying to get this out of the way because there's all of all of them, I think this is one of her weakest performances, to be honest. I've seen her do much more powerful performance than this, but don't get me wrong, she did a good job. I'm not saying it was her worst, but I'm just saying. Pretty much all the ones she's been nominated, this has to be her weakest one out of all the ones she's ever nominated.
So, but now that we got Meryl freaking Streep out of the way, let's talk about the other four who definitely deserve the nods here. We got Sally Hawkins
from The Shape of Water. You got Frances McDormand and Three Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. You got Margot Robbie for I, Tonya, and then Saoirse Ronan for Lady Bird, and they all had powerful performances.
I have it between Sally Hawkins and Frances McDormand. Now, Sally Hawkins did phenomenal for a role. She pretty much didn't talk at all, and that's great. That's a good sign of a great actress. Is when you can do a great role without speaking a fucking word.
Yeah.
Not counting the dream sequence in the movie, she doesn't speak a fucking word, and she portrays this person who is considered a monster, like her roommate Richard Jenkins is. Yeah. Or no, her neighbor Richard Jenkins is, as somebody who feels alone and wants something more, but just goes to the humdrum day of life. It's not even until we meet Doug Jones' character, the fish boy, that she finally starts feeling something different.
She really brings the performances in it, playing the mute pretty much, where she's just like. She brings out those words. She brings it to life in a way.
Okay, I should have done this before. I go over my picks and you go over picks. So my two picks are between Sally Hawkins and Frances McDormand. What are your picks?
Mine is between Frances McDormand and Saoirse Ronan. Those two.
Really?
Yes. Now, mind you, both of them did win a Golden Globe Award. Pretty much, one for actress in a drama, and the other one actress in a comedy.
That's probably one. That's one. Aside from Frances McDormand's amazing job in Three Billboards, also the fact that she's won numerous awards outside the Oscars already, so I feel like she's easily shoo-in for Best Actress. But Sally Hawkins, though, did such a fucking great job in her role in Shape of Water.
Now, we don't want to forget one other person, pretty much, and that is Margot Robbie. She did a phenomenal job as in I, Tonya, pretty much. She sold that character. She made it her own, and it's one of her best roles we've seen her do in a film overall.
Yeah, not bad for somebody who originally started as Leo DiCaprio's chick he wanted to bang in Wolf of Wall Street. Mm-hmm. Yeah. For what? She was in a movie with Will Smith.
Yeah, I mean
twice.
Yeah, and she she was right after that role. She went into that one role with that Will Smith one where he plays that one guy.
He plays that.
No, what I mean is he plays that like a con. She plays as like the protege of a con man in a way.
Yeah. Let me cut away for a bit. Don't you hate when people go, it's that one guy? It's that one guy from that one movie. It's like, yes, that told me everything I needed to know to help you guess what that movie is. But no, it's that movie where he plays a thief and she helps him out. Yeah.
But but Margot Robbie though, she does a great job. The way she brings the character and the way, the stuff she goes through for this character is just unbelievable. It's great. She brings out her performance beautifully well. Even when she's doing those narrative scenes, it's amazing. It's awesome. And she did deserve at least a nomination because she did a great job. Like I said, for The Window, it wasn't that phenomenally great, but she deserved at least a nomination for this role. But like I said, those are my picks actually. Like I said, Frances McDormand and Saoirse Ronan. Sally Hawkins, like I said, she had a great performance. She really brought it, and she was very, very, how can I say this? The way she expressed herself in the film was phenomenal. She did a phenomenal job just expressing herself in the film with the sign language and everything, and it was like very powerful. It's like you hadn't seen something like that in a very, very long time. You felt her emotion.
But for this one though, I'm gonna go with a safe bet. I'm gonna choose Frances McDormand. I'm gonna go with a safe bet. Do not say. I swear to God, we're never gonna.
Saoirse Ronan. That's who I'm going with.
You're going with Saoirse Ronan.
Yeah, that's who I'm going with. Only because
honestly, my favorite moment is when she gets out of the. I'm not gonna spoil it, but you'll get what I mean when she said
in the beginning,
in the opening scene where she gets out of the car.
It's like I'm going by.
I'm just gonna leave it at that where she gets out of the car.
She plays the role of this teenager pretty much greatly. Where it's something you would see in an average teenager pretty much. Their attitude, their cockiness, things like that pretty much. It just bring it in. It's just, like I said, I like it. Don't get me wrong. Frances McDormand, that's what I say, it was a very tough decision between these two for me. Because Frances McDormand, she had that role, but it felt like she more was guiding the story a bit. Because, like I said, to me, that film was more it felt like it was more surrounding Sam Rockwell's character in a way, for me, to be honest. But that's why I said, for Saoirse Ronan really felt full on as the lead character in this film. And I had to go with her pretty much for Lady Bird pretty much. And that's what I'm going with.
Yay, high five for finally having one different.
I mean, I was going to go with Frances McDormand, but like I said, I just went the other way only because I felt more like from her in that movie.
Okay, that's fine. That's great. That's a great reason because honestly, except for Meryl Streep, all these actresses deserve the best actress on. They all did amazingly in the roles. Oh, yeah. Like I was doubting Margot Robbie, but then she plays the best white trash ice skater, professional ice skater I've ever seen.
She does it so fucking good, though. That's the thing. She has this. And
there are times where you do regardless of the rumors you heard about whether or not she really did it or not, you do really feel bad for her because all she wants to do
was skate
and go to the Olympics.
Yeah, because it's like that. Like she said in the film, as her character, she's just like that. This is all I know. Yeah. I dropped out of high school for this, and it's like, this is all I ever know. Okay,
so there we go. We are down to the big two. So with that out of the way, we are going to cut it over to the actually don't look that half bad people in the corner. So
they're starting to grow on me, aren't they?
A little bit. I'm not going to
take it away, guys.
Live in my house.
Introduce your choice on which female you would like to definitely go for in this one. So now, our next category, pretty much, there's always got to be that man that pretty much has a vision, that has a look, that comes to creating a film, their vision, what they want, pretty much. And the director is the one that we always look towards, the one that it brings to life his envision of what he wants to see for this film. So our next category, as you can tell, is for Best Director. And the nominees are Guillermo del Toro, Shape of Water, Jordan Peele, Get Out, Greta Gerwig, Lady Bird, Christopher Nolan, Dunkirk, and Paul Thomas Anderson, Phantom Thread. So let's take a look and see what our smart intellectual selves think about this category and who they predict. So take it away, fellas.
Out of 10, what would you give them?
I don't know. I'm leaning towards like a 7.
And 6. Okay, so next up is one of the tougher of the two. Is Best Director. Yes. Now fuck me, man. Could you? Okay, because I'm gonna say it right off the bat. I don't care. I'm going with a personal pick for this one. Mm-hmm. I hope to God he gets it because he fucking deserves it, man. For adapted screenplay, I went with a safer bet. I really do want Logan to win for adapted, but here I'm going with Guillermo del Toro for Shape of Water. Dude deserves a fucking Oscar. Come on, man. Pan's Labyrinth, the 2 Hellboy movies. The fact that this guy has an entire house dedicated to the most bizarre and surreal shit in his movie collection. Have you seen that video of Conan Torque? Holy crap! This is a phenomenal director, and I think this is the first time he's been nominated for an Oscar. You know, I'm gonna say it now. He knows how to do these kind of movies, and he does this one so well. A modern day romantic love story told with in the aesthetic and the timeline of like 50s when everybody early 60s where we thought everyone was a fucking communist. Spoiler: there are communists in this movie.
Yeah.
And that's not. Let me care about the other 4. Dunkirk is amazing. Christopher Nolan is fucking Jesus when it comes to these big budget movies. Jordan Peele, he deserves it for such an outstanding. I think this is his first directorial debut movie. He deserves this nod. This is the guy who broke his stereotype. The guy known so much for comedy, doing a movie that got nominated for Best Comedy Drama and Best Comedy Musical at the Golden Globes, and the guy was fine with it. He was still miffed, but he was fine with it. You know, this is the guy who took what was supposed to be, felt like a comedy from watching the previews, and made it this weird, eerie, Outer Limits, which is ironic because apparently it's
Outer Limits type of Black Mirror episode type of thing, you know, into a film.
Yeah, and Lady Bird. Oh my God, what's the
Greta Gerwig.
Greta Gerwig. I've already said enough about this movie. It feels like you know what? I finally realized what Lady Bird is. It's this year's Juno.
Yeah, if you think about it.
I would finally say this one's better than Juno, but it's this year's Juno. Yeah, that's pretty much. It's somebody who mainstream audiences probably haven't seen a lot of, that came out in this breakout directorial role performance, and she does great. Mm-hmm. It feels like something. Thanks to her, it feels like this is something most of this movie is what I went through growing up, what you went through growing up, and things like that. Phantom Thread. I'll admit, it's a bit lengthy, but Paul Thomas Anderson? Mm-hmm. Paul Thomas Anderson, he's had a bit of a rough patch the last couple movies. I think with this one, what is definitely better than the last couple he's done. Yeah. And Daniel Day-Lewis is definitely a breakout star for us. It's very well shot. It's obviously very well directed. And he chose the right people to play the right roles. And that's all I got. But I'm going with Del Toro for Shape of Water. The man deserves it.
I am going with my main man, Christopher Nolan.
Traitor!
Christopher Nolan, because, you know, he's been doing great films. You know, it's like we didn't really we heard a little bit of him in Memento. Then he started picking things up a little bit with other films, but it was like we didn't really hear, you know, more of him when we start working on more of the Batman films, pretty much. More of like those films. That's when you start to see what he's fully capable of when you get him full control. When you give him full control, it's like you're getting these beautifully made films.
Pacific Rim! Del Toro also did Pacific Rim.
He does, you know, it's like when you give him like the ability to do what he wants to do, he's gonna give you a masterpiece of film. And this is finally, like everyone has been stating since this movie's come out, this is his masterpiece. This is his pretty much Picasso in a way. This is what he's been leading up to, because the way
I think you mean this is like his Mona Lisa.
Mona Lisa, Picasso, any one of those, damn it.
Okay, I'm sorry, don't hurt me.
God damn it. I didn't interrupt you, don't interrupt my ass.
Sorry, go on.
This is his pretty much master of all, pretty much. And the way he delivered in this film, the way he pretty much put everything together was beautifully done. Pretty much from not only the sets, but just the music you hear, the build up. You feel the emotion. They start you off letting you know literally in the beginning. Even spoilers again. Even in the beginning of the film, they let them know they are fucked. They're on this island and they're fucked. That's all we need to know.
On a scale of doing fine to completely fucking bone, they are completely and utterly fucking boned.
So it starts off telling us they are fucked.
Yeah.
And then from there, that's when it's like, the music, just the scenery he gives, it's just like, you're seeing what all of them are going through, what they have to go through, just to get away as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Even when those scenes with Cillian Murphy, pretty much, he just dominates that role as well, pretty much, where he's just like, he sells it of like, I don't want to go back. I really want, and just everything was put together beautifully. And to me, Christopher Nolan deserves, to me, just like you said, for Guillermo del Toro, he deserves a win. He deserves the win for this film. Because this film was just masterpiece.
I have to go a personal pick. If I were going with a safer bet, it would probably be something between Dunkirk and Phantom Thread. Oh, probably Dunkirk, to be honest. But I have to, man.
Yeah.
I gotta have faith, man. I gotta have faith.
Guillermo del Toro, don't get me wrong, he's an amazing director. You give him the right story, or you give him just like how I said, you give him the reins, he's gonna bring a beautiful story come to life, and that's what he did with that film for Shape of Water. He did a phenomenal job. He pretty much, again, like we said before, he's making our own type of fairy tale, pretty much. Like our own Beauty and the Beast, more of a modern Beauty and the Beast type of thing. No magic involved or anything like that. Well, anyways, but
if you're talking about The Shape of Water, it's kind of
magical in a way, but it's the way he puts together a story, the way he makes whatever creature or whatever story he is making magical or supernatural, anything, he brings it to life beautifully. The people he works with, they do a really good job. So I see, if I had to choose a second choice, to be honest, maybe Guillermo del Toro. Now and then Jordan Peele.
Oh yeah, Jordan.
Yeah, I'm going down just like you went down.
Sorry.
Jordan Peele, he did a phenomenal job. He grabbed something that he was originally just going to make a straight up full on comedy, and started giving it these elements of just like creepiness, where it's like, this would fit perfectly. And he balanced it very well, where when you need to laugh, he made you laugh. When you need to get like creeped out or seriously creeped out, you're like, okay, he's doing it at the right moments, pretty much. And he has the potential to be a great director. I think, and this film shows it. You give him, the right story, you give him something to work with, he's going to do his best to give it to what he should interpret it as. And he does a great job here. Here, even with this nomination, it's showing that he's got potential to be a phenomenal director if you give him the right stuff. Greta Gerwig for Lady Bird, she does a great job. She just, like you said, pretty much, it's our version of this year's Juno. She grabbed a typical teenager, just trying to get through, life, just trying to get through her mom, her parents, her friends, and stuff
mainly
like that.
her mom, though.
Mainly her mom, but it's like also dealing with, just personal things, that typical, not typical, but that some high schoolers may go through, whether it's boyfriends, parent, anything like that. And she brings it to life very well. She brings it to life so very well. It's like you feel like this is so realistic. This actually could happen. That's why she does a great job. So I see more potential as well with her. And then Paul Thomas Anderson, he does a great job when it comes to bringing this beautiful story, this beautiful awkward story together. Telling the story about just somebody who's very straightforward, who's like, bam, 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 I need to have it this way, that way. And he puts it together very, almost like the same way.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it has to be like this, it has to. Well, he brings this other character in that's to throw it off completely, and he does it in a way where it's like, it throws it off, but not too much to where it's going to throw off the whole film. And he does a great job, too. He's got his hits and his misses. This one was a beautiful hit. Okay. But like I said, overall, though, my pick, of course, is Christopher Nolan for Best Director.
Okay, so...
And yours was what?
Del Toro. I just went on a like 5-minute rant about Del Toro.
I know, I'm just making sure people that you remember at the end of it.
Well, I'm checking off all mine, so, and here we go. We have one big one coming up. So let us get over to the people that are going from a 6 in my book to about a 3. So.
You got 3, I got 1 at this point.
Okay, so take it away. Interesting pick, gentlemen. Interesting pick. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our prediction special with the nominees for Best Motion Picture. As you can tell, my dog doesn't want to be a part of this. So, Best Motion Picture. Put simply, these were the best movies of the year voted on by the Academy of Motion Picture. As you can see, these were nominated for the Best Motion Picture. These 9 instead of 10 this year proved that they are the best of the best and really should check them out, to be honest. So, with that being said, the nominees for Best Motion Picture are The Shape of Water, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Phantom Thread, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, Get Out, The Post, Call Me By Your Name, Lady Bird. Now, with all those nominees said, let's begin this what's soon to be a very heated debate with the ravishing-looking gentleman in the corner. So, take it away, guys. We have come to the apex of our nominations, folks, and that is for Best Picture. This one's going to be a bit difficult. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to just go by 2 by 2. Because I know there's 9, but we'll go 2 by 2. And then the winner, and then we'll see where we go from there. Okay?
Alright, yeah.
So first up, we have Call Me By Your Name or Darkest Hour. Which movie did you think was better?
Shit, we're not even going down each one pretty much, aren't we? We're just going straight to it.
Well,
right?
we're going to each one. We're going to go like essentially each one, but...
Let's see here. The Shape of Water, I thought, like I've said before, for my notes here. God damn it, where are my notes? The Shape of Water, again, it was one of the weirdest, most awkward, but great love stories, you know?
Yeah.
Sally Hawkins did a phenomenal job in her performance with, her facial expressions. She draws you in with those facial expressions where she's just like, bam, just captures you, into that moment. Michael Shannon, that's one person we did not bring up. Michael Shannon, he did a phenomenal job. I thought he was going to get at least like a Best Supporting Actor or something. Because Michael Shannon, the way he brings his, he does a great job playing an evil villain. And he does it greatly in this. Weird, but great. He has the, he just does it, it's a huge, big thing that he does. And he just does it, just that chill that brings down your spine, down your back. And, and the way he adds it to the film, it helps the film even more. Because the film, it feels like more of a huge homage to a lot of the horror films. Like you see on those big movie posters where it's like, it's like the monster always holding a beautiful woman and stuff like that. And, and that's what it feels like here. It's like, it's like, what if it actually did happen? That monster that it really, and the woman did fall in love with each other. And it sent out a great message pretty much. Even for Richard Jenkins' character, diving into his specifics pretty much of who he is during that time period. And it's just, he brings a lot of that, into it, sympathizing with her and the monster, and they do a great job. They sell the role. They bring it to a point where it's just like, wow, this is Guillermo del Toro's top film that we've seen in not in a long time, but it's about time that's finally getting noticed, some eye or anything like that. So, what are your thoughts on Shape of Water?
Fuck. You have bigger notes than I do, man. It's like,
it's okay.
Freaking dick metric contest.
Mine's like this big.
The Shape of Water, I have to agree with most of you said. It was another great movie done by Del Toro. It took what was supposed to be a stereotypical fairy tale and just completely flipped on its head. Great work from the from the main actors, including especially Sally Hawkins and like Michael Shannon. Very well done stylized scenes. Every scene didn't feel different. Like the apartment felt like the apartment. The lab felt eerie, creepy, and definitely looks like shady shit happens there all the time. Beautifully shot. Amazing practical effects once again with Doug Jones.
Yeah.
I forgot there was a good way I was gonna put this. And I brought it up earlier, but I'm gonna bring it up here too. What made it work best story-wise was that it was showing what the monsters really were, which was like the guy at the diner, the guy who turned down Richard Jenkins' advertising post.
Yeah.
Michael Shannon's character.
Oh yeah.
You know, those were the real monsters in the movie, and that clearly showed in this. And I don't have much else to say. I mean, you pretty much said everything.
Well, you can take the next one, which was the next one. The next nomination was for Darkest Hour. What did you think of that one?
Darkest Hour. Let me see. Darkest Hour. It's a very character-driven performance. It's definitely not going to be in my picks when it comes down to choosing which going to win. Mm-hmm. But it was very good performance from Gary Oldman. Very well done overall. But it was just very character-driven. I mean, it felt like a precursor to watching Dunkirk.
That's why some people, for me, it really feels like some people may agree or disagree, but some people say that if you put together Your Finest, that one movie that's like more dealing with more the propaganda of Dunkirk, then you put together Darkest Hour and then Dunkirk, it's like you have a whole film surrounding Dunkirk. Hitting every angle from political to propaganda to the actual what they went through there. So it definitely that's what it felt like pretty much. And to me, the story was it's very rough around the edges. And like you said, it's more this film was more character driven than anything else. And it's all it's Gary Oldman carrying this whole film on his back in a way. And yeah, don't get me wrong. The film was great and everything. To be honest, I'm not too sure. I'm glad it got nominated, but it's like I felt like it more was,
very character-driven for Gary Oldman.
Yeah,
it was made for Gary Oldman. It was made for Oscar.
Yeah, it was made. It was just made for Gary Oldman. It wasn't for like the whole picture itself. But that's again, Darkest Hour. Don't get me wrong. It was good. Great makeup, great costume, everything pretty much. Because this film is really nominated for like a few awards, pretty much. I think up to 5 awards or something like that at the Oscars. But for Best Picture, it's definitely it's very very low there for me for a win for it.
Okay, next up.
Next up we have is Dunkirk. This one. Yes, this one. Like I said, when me and my brother saw this pretty much together, we were just like in shock at all how this film was put together. They did a phenomenal job. They grabbed all the elements pretty much that really makes the film, which is from music, from music to cinematography, to the editing, everything. It felt like this was put together perfectly done. To believe it or not, I think this film is going to be the one that takes away a lot of awards, to be honest. Whether it's not technical, but it feels like it's going to take away from more technical awards, I think, in this one. It really got built up, the intensity, the music, the emotion. It just, how would I say it? It really felt like a documentary. That? It really felt like, if it wasn't for like some of the, the known faces, like Tom Hardy, Cillian Murphy, I forgot his name, Harry Styles or anything like that. If it wasn't for them,
Kenneth Branagh.
And then Kenneth Branagh, thank you. That was the name I was looking for. If it wasn't for them, it would honestly feel like a documentary put together, really well done that you see on like the History Channel or anything like that. But I thought it was, like I said, I thought it was a decent film. I thought
Dunkirk decent?
No, not decent. Sorry.
Come on, better word, goddammit.
I thought it was masterful, pretty much. This is definitely up there. This is to be honest, this is one of my picks for one of them to win for Best Picture.
Same here. Same here. Solid performances all around. Great visuals and sound editing. Great visuals, great sound editing. The look of the film definitely up there with like prior one of the grim and grittier war films.
Yeah.
Definitely goes up there. Nolan, fine job from Christopher Nolan himself.
Yeah.
Amazing director, and it definitely shows here. I think the problem with the movie was that Cillian Murphy didn't get his at the end.
Yeah.
That's a nitpick, but otherwise, a fantastic movie. It's definitely going to be up there with one of my picks.
Yeah. And the next one pretty much we have is for Phantom Thread.
I think I'll go over this quick. It's definitely not going to be one of my picks, but a very unique kind of romantic story about two people who, well, one person at first we know is just like so strict and everything, so in his own ways and stuff. Then there comes along this woman who at first goes along with it, but then just gets tired of his bullshit, and then does her own thing, and we realize that this is not your average love story.
No, it's like a very...
This is a story about two crazy motherfuckers.
Yeah, you think that only one of them's crazy, but you start to realize they're both crazy.
Yeah, but I think it was very well done. The music was good. The visuals were very outstanding.
Yeah.
But it felt a bit lengthy to me, and I wouldn't say I got a bit confused, but I think the story overall was fine.
I had a couple funny moments too, you know.
Oh, no.
Had some really good, a few little funny moments, especially when he's like, tell her to take off the dress and stuff like that, and you have to go in and they literally take the dress off while she's still passed out on the bed.
But honestly, I thought it was a good movie. Not probably that could be one of my picks, but I still thought it was good overall.
Yeah.
Daniel Day-Lewis, as always, does a phenomenal job.
Yeah, they had a great chemistry too. Him and the other actress, pretty much played Alma. They had a really good, strong chemistry. I'm shocked that she didn't get nominated for, a role for the role, but she still did a great, solid job herself.
Yeah.
She brought that creepiness level beyond. But unfortunately, it's not a part of my pick either. It was a great. I'm happy it got nominated for Best Picture because it was that good that at least it deserves the nomination to be noticed a bit. The next one we dive into. Would be 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. This one,
honestly, this is up there with one of my choices.
It's also up there as well. It's this deals a lot with so much going on within one film. It deals a lot with race, suicide, rape, murder, alcoholism, and they did it at a very good pace. They did a really good job at it.
While also making sure it's a comedy.
Yeah, they tossed in that comedy pretty much where it's very hilarious, but it was hilarious where it made sense for the hilarious parts for certain things pretty much. They did it what they did was very good. To me though, it really felt like it was Sam Rockwell's film. Besides Frances McDormand, it felt like, again, I said this before, if you've seen what we said earlier before. Like I said, it felt like Frances McDormand. She did a great job. She did a phenomenal job in her role. She had some really great lines in it. But it felt like more of Sam Rockwell's film of his character evolving pretty much throughout the film, and that's what I felt like throughout this whole thing. And just the way this film was building up to when we got to near the end was just they did a good pace at it pretty much. And it just the performances were fantastic, and again I have to praise Sam Rockwell because the way he sells the character from being this racist almost dickhead type of thing to this person who lives up to somebody that he always looked up to himself, who pretty much kills themselves because they can't really survive to what they're suffering through themselves, but he decides to live up to it. So I really felt like that, and this is definitely another one of my picks, pretty much for the win for Best Picture. And like I said, I thought this film was phenomenal. They did a great job, and this is another film that's got so many nominations within it, where it's even got 2 nominees within the same in the same nomination, pretty much, for Best Supporting Actor, and it's like it is that good of a film, to believe it or not. It is a really good solid film.
Yeah.
So,
you will praise Sam Rockwell. I will praise Frances McDormand.
Yeah.
As much as I adore Sam Rockwell in this role and stuff, I believe Frances McDormand was the best part about the movie.
Yeah.
I think
she had a great. To me,
Let me finish. We've been praising Sam Rockwell forever now. We very praised her when we went to Actress.
Yeah.
So, but for the most part, she portrays somebody who not only has to admit to the fact that it was kind of her fault in regards to the death of her daughter, but she's owning up to that fact and doing whatever it takes to make this police department realize that you still haven't found the killer. It's been months. You have not found anything new, anything less, and you're doing nothing.
Yeah.
And this is why she makes the three billboards. She posts up on the 3 billboards. She invests her money into it. She wants them to do their fucking jobs. I think she even says that at one point.
Yeah.
She wants them to do something because she wants to stop blaming herself for what happened. She really wants to stop blaming herself. If they can find a killer, she'll finally accept for a fact about what happened. What happened, pretty much. And even without, this learning for her daughter, we even see beforehand that she was still this kind of person beforehand. She was still snarky to her kids. She was still snarky to her, well, by the time we get to her ex-husband,
Oh, yeah.
And somebody doesn't take any shit. Like, easily one of my favorite parts is when she just starts fucking, when it turns out they still haven't found, I think, was it after the ex-husband burned down the billboards or before? When the Molotov cocktail scene.
No, that was before.
That was before?
No, that was after.
Okay, that was after. No, it was just after Woody Harrelson died.
Yeah.
And I think she got pissed about something, and she took it out by chucking fucking Molotovs at the fucking front of the
station. Yeah, the police station.
Police station. But everybody deserves credit for his role. Even the small roles, we hadn't even brought up that what's his name from Game of Thrones is in it. Peter Dinklage is in it. He's in the small role he's good in it. I forgot the actor who plays her ex-husband, but he's good in it. Another great scene is her son.
Yeah.
Another great scene is the priest.
Oh yeah.
When she comes back home, drunk, yelling, "Hey, I think that midget has a crush on me." This is the priest there, and she goes off on the priest.
Yeah.
So many great scenes, and everybody did a good job. It's a nice blend of comedy and drama, and regardless of what happens by the end of it, you still feel for both Sam Rockwell and Frances McDormand at the same time, which is unique in its own way.
Yeah, so our next one pretty much we have is for Get Out.
I'm kidding. You know I was going to do that joke.
No. Alright, that's our next one.
It's been a while since I've seen Get Out, but for the most part, I think I brought this up before, but Get Out is a very well done movie that is its own Twilight Zone, Outer Limits kind of movie. But kind of set more of a over exaggerated reality where this guy goes to his girlfriend's place for the weekend.
Oh yeah.
Only to find out his girlfriend's family is of course nuts.
Oh yeah.
But it's not until the second half of the movie you see how freaking nuts they are, and it's done so well. And by the time the reveal comes, you're sitting going, What the hell is going on? I mean, amazing performances throughout. Do you have the actors' names that played the parents? I know Catherine Keener.
I don't have the parents.
I don't have the other actors.
But they did a great job as well.
They did a great job. God, I'm blanking right now. One favorite scene is the girlfriend. The reveal about the girlfriend. That was an amazing discovery. Because you knew the girlfriend had the fucking keys. Who were you kidding? You knew the girlfriend had the keys, but you're saying but easily, what made this movie great was that they didn't go with the alternate. Besides the fact they didn't go with the alternate ending.
Yeah.
Was
no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Was that it was set in a strange reality that made sense.
Yeah, exactly.
That somebody would go to that extent.
And it was a very smart film dealing pretty much with racial dating in a way. Kind of. It's he grabbed. What was pretty cool is that Jordan Peele grabbed that film. Was it Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? That one old movie. But it's he added that huge twist to it. There's guess what? There's a twist to it.
and he did it was just a phenomenal job that he did.
So next up, we got.
The next one we have is for The Post. That one to me was.
It was okay for what essentially sounded like a rushed movie project.
Yeah.
Still well acted movie. Still an interesting story. Funny how Oscar kind of like sequel baits at the end for like All the President's Men.
Yeah, in a way that's what it sets it up for. I like it. I like the film pretty much. I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed the film. It's just it felt like they wanted to add so many big names to it. It ruined it pretty much to me. It was like it was trying to be like, hey, we got Tom Hanks, hey, we got Meryl Streep, hey, we got this guy, a bunch of other actors that we've all seen before in other series or anything like that. But it's like, all right, we get it, we know what you're trying to do, just tell the story, and that's what it felt like. Again, like we said before, it was trying to be this year's Spotlight, and it didn't really hit. Mm-hmm. It didn't hit it as good as Spotlight did, and I really wanted to do well because it was a solid, good, decent film. But to me, it wasn't that solid enough. I'm happy at least it got nominated. That's about it. But I'm just wishing it would,
good performances, fairly standard story overall. But I think it's still a good movie. I would still recommend checking out, but not. I don't think it's good enough.
Because I saw the message they're trying to give, and it's like, okay, you got the message out. That's it. Yeah. It wasn't a powerful message, but to me, it wasn't one of our picks, but we're happy at least it got nominated. It got attention. Our next one is his favorite one. Call Me by Your Name.
It's not my favorite one.
I'm cracking on you. That's why.
Look, I'll go over this. I'm gonna go over this quickly. He's probably gonna do an extended version. Good performances from the two main leads. Visually well done. Great music. Great performances. My only beef was that it was a little longer than it should have been, and like the performances were. Yeah. I mean, the story was like pretty standard for me, in my opinion.
Like I said, I enjoyed it. To be honest, I actually enjoyed the film. The way it was set up, the way it was displayed, the little bits here and there that really opened it up even more. I really enjoyed it how it was all put together. Some people, again, it may not hit some people's boats pretty much for certain reasons, but for those pretty much who, of course, enjoy film and watch film and stuff like that, who really understand this, looking at the story, what it's trying to, display, they'll enjoy it. They'll love it and stuff like that. I enjoyed it overall. It's not one of my picks for pretty much to win for Best Picture. To me, I thought it would be a great pick for more of an adapted screenplay because they did a great job adapting it. But overall, I just, it was good. I'm glad it got nominated, but like I said, I'm just not. Like I said, I thought it was good enough to get nominated. That's about it. Yeah. And then our next one pretty much is, to wrap it all up. Usually we would get 10, but this is the odd number pretty much. It's 9 nominations, and this one's for Lady Bird. This one, again, I thought they did a great job. They really brought it out pretty much. It takes place, as you can tell, during the early 2000s, pretty much around that time period.
Yeah, no, it was 2001 because they keep on bringing up the 9/11 attack to start out the movie.
Yeah, the main actress, she really does a phenomenal job. Saoirse Ronan, she does a really great job. Again, like I said before, everything about this film felt real. You can make it feel like you can meet these characters, actually in life, where it's like, oh, I know somebody who's like that. Mm-hmm. I know who somebody's like this. And you can relate what she's going through pretty much. Whatever moment she was in, you relate pretty much going, oh, I've been there. I know that feeling and stuff like that. And she really sells that role. And it's actually believe it or not, this is my third pick pretty much. I mean, we still are going to do overall who we choose to win it, but it's my third overall pick for Best Picture that I would love to see win. Because the way, like I said, it was beautifully done. It was great. It was fantastic. Characters were wonderful. It had its funny moments, especially like we said before in the beginning, where she's like, "I'm just gonna roll right out of the car like there's nothing." Yeah. Out of nowhere, or even you're like, "What the fuck?" Okay. And then, it's like you just have those moments where she may get into arguing with her mom, and then like a few minutes later, like with our dad, it's like we get into argument, and then a few minutes later, so what's for dinner? You know, it's like that type of thing. It's like it's calm. It's like you really felt it. It was fantastic. They did a great job. You know, and I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was beautifully done and put together.
Yeah. I'm really tired right now. Lady Bird it's good.
You need to wake up.
You want me to slap you awake with this notepad?
I'm wide awake.
No, you're not.
Yes, I
Lady Bird is good. I mean, I've already talked about it multiple times already. It's very down to earth, coming of age movie that's very well directed, very well acted from all the characters, including Starry Roman. Amazing job from Laurie Metcalf as well. It's definitely up there. Let me see what my notes say. Yeah, my notes got cut off. Hey, shut up. But I think it was a very well done movie overall. If you do go see it, it is worth seeing. You can definitely take your kids to see it, your teenage kids to see it.
Oh yeah, because they would relate a lot with it.
There was some stuff they'll definitely relate to, especially wanting to jump out of a car when their parents are talking.
Not only for the parents, but also for the children. Where
yeah,
it's like,
where parents want to jump out of the car too.
Not jumping out of the car, but you know.
I know what you mean.
You know, with the film's message and things like that.
Now, with that all being said, what is your pick for Best Picture? Are you going personal? Are you going easy pick? Are you going safe bet? What are you doing?
Again, I have it down between three. I have it between Dunkirk, Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, and Lady Bird. Those are the three I have for winning.
I have it between Dunkirk, The Shape of Water, and Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Who's your pick?
Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. I'm going with my safe pick. It has won multiple Best Picture at like Golden Globe, SAG, Critics' Choice. It has won multiples. I'm going with a safe bet on this one because if I don't, I feel like I'm going to lose to you again this year. We didn't do it last year or the year before. But
I'm going with Three Billboards because, like I said, Dunkirk. For me, I will want to go for it, but I think it's going to win more technical awards than it is for Best Picture or anything like that. I think it's going to win more technical awards than anything else for Dunkirk. Lady Bird. To me, it's going to be between Three Billboards and Lady Bird, to be honest. Because Lady Bird, it had phenomenal reviews, phenomenal everything, pretty much. I mean, I believe it did win. I think it won. Yeah, it won for Best Comedy as well, pretty much for a film.
But let's not forget, this is Best Picture.
Yeah, I know overall.
And lately, last few years, they've been doing 9, so other movies can get big recognition.
Well, I know that.
Let me finish. I'm agreeing. No, don't get mad and stab the table. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm thinking Lady Bird definitely deserves a Best Picture now, but you have to look at the bigger picture. There are so many other movies that have done just as great, if not better, than Lady Bird. So
yeah, but when it comes again, like you said, with the Billboard seasons, I think the two that it's going to be down between for the Best Picture is going to be Lady Bird and Three Billboards because they both won for Best in a Drama and Best in a Comedy, pretty much.
Well, you're stuck in a right.
No. I'm just stating the facts.
Oh, okay.
That's all. I'm just stating the facts. But I'm going with Three Billboards only because pretty much, not because of what you said, but because pretty much the story has so many elements in it. Again, that it's gathering all these things are going on again from suicide, rape, murder, race, all of that, and it's squeezed into this one film, and it's done in a way where it's like it fits perfectly and. That is definitely like the pick I'm going with. Pretty much is Three Billboards. So for it to win it overall, to take it away, to win over the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's gonna be a very long night for tomorrow for the awards and things like that.
Okay.
So I definitely can't wait to see what goes down, what happens, and see who takes it away.
Yeah. So. I will do it for this 2018 Oscar prediction special.
Yes.
So, other than that, if you're new to the channel, you can hit the like button. If you want to talk to us more about our Oscar picks and your Oscar picks, comment down below. If you want to share us around, let people know what we thought of our picks, share it around. And if you like us just a little bit more than anybody else when it comes to discussing really ridiculously really good movies, hit the subscribe button down below. If you're also mobile, hit that bell icon.
If you agreed or even disagree with our picks, pretty much it's okay. Again, These are our own personal picks, pretty much. This is who we think, pretty much. Again, we didn't watch every single movie, but we watched as many as we could to get our picks out there, so we know pretty much. Okay, we know we're just not gonna go off of what people are saying, or we're going off of what we saw, our opinions, and everything. Again, if you have any extra nods or comments about pretty much our picks or anything like that, or if you agree or disagree, let us know again in the comments below. It's gonna be a very interesting evening when Oscars come on. A lot of things are going to happen compared to what happened, last year. So I really can't wait to see what happens. Put down what you thought of our pretty much nods. Again, put down what you thought of our predictions. Do you agree, disagree, anything like that? But most importantly of all, please, not please, but most of all, sorry. Thank you. Thank you for staying. If you stood with us from the beginning of this episode, or not even episode, this special, thank you for coming all the way to the end of this part. We thank you to the bottom of our hearts. Definitely, share it. Let everybody know about us. Please, we are fun to get to know with, and everything else. So thank you most of all.
And also, we will be live tweeting the Oscars.
Yes, we are.
Since we will be sitting down watching again, we will be live tweeting some of our initial reactions, as well as the score tally.
Yeah, exactly.
See who will be winning and who will not be winning.
Exactly, and this is only for the picks you see in front of us, pretty much.
No, this is why I kept on bringing up the other nominations. Because we can't just go off of this, because I thought about this, and after going through all these multiple times, and us having consecutive, agreed ones to win, while we won't be checking out the other, or ones we know over this video, we will still be trying our best to determine the other nominations we didn't go over, just to see who truly can predict
Yeah.
the Oscars. The 90th Oscars. Okay? So we will be live tweeting come Sunday, so stay tuned on our Twitter account. Once again, our Twitter is @SuperReactBros, so stay tuned on that on Sunday, and we will be reacting in Twitter form. And showing our tallies too, so. Until next time, I'm Kristen.
I'm Christopher.
Those two schlubs are us as well, and this has been a very Oscar-worthy episode of SRB.
See you
Later.
Hey guys, thanks for watching.
Yeah, and if you want to see any more of our videos, check out the playlist links down below in the description.
And you can also check out our Twitter account pretty much down below @SuperReactBros.